Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, let's get right down to work. Go ahead and get that rear plate put on the engine. That way this thing is done, other than the Y bridge. But that can come later, it's not a dire need. And then we can jump right on that transmission. Go ahead and start working on that thing because it's got to be dealt with somehow, whether we're going to rebuild it or just paint it, I'm not sure yet. But let's get right down to work. Let's go to work. Let's go. Man, I've been cleaning these motor mounts. They're not bad. This one is broke, so I'm going to buy the lower. I broke this one out when I was pulling the motor out with the cherry picker. It straight up ripped on me. I was like, dang. But the other one, check this out. I believe it looks brand new. Cleaned it all up. Didn't paint it at all. Other than this, I just painted the front of that shield. It looks really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the bracket done up here, which is basically this piece will stay. This right here will go away. So I gotta order one of those. Check this out, guys. Craig jigged everything. You can see all in there, top boards, the sideboards, the sides. This was still from the Jeep. I did have to buy just the top of the wood. But I made this right here for the transmission. So, and flipping it over, because I need something sturdy enough to hold that transmission. Don't want it falling on me. But yeah, whip that thing up in about, I don't know, 45 minutes. Looks great. Brand new crush washers for the oil supply line. Let's get it put on here. Clean it up. I think that one's torqued down to 18 foot-pounds. So guys, there's the turbo, and I got all the lines on there. So the only thing I really got to do is come in here and put like this line right here to the coolant, I got to cut a new piece for there. I got to cut a piece over there on the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and torque down the actual turbo bolts themselves to 80 foot-pounds. It's quite a lot. Here I go. Boom. Got the turbo cover on. Man, I pretty much had to take off everything in here. This is unreal. I was like, I'm not filming any of this. And it's this line right here. This one down in here. You know, it's hard lined. And I had to remove all of this. That should have been the very first line ran. And it's this fuel line right here. Unreal. But I got it. I was beginning to think, I'm like, there's no way this even belongs in here. I actually had to go back and look at my videos of me taking it apart. I was like, oh, well, should have put that in first. But we got it. So it's completely done up here other than the Y bridge. So I'm waiting on a company to reply to me about the Y bridge. That's what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to get some sponsorship out of it. It'd be really cool. And rep their product and they could hook me up. Win-win. Trying. This is where the fuel filter, well, the stock one sits. I'm going to put it back on here. All right, here's the prime button for the fuel filter and all that. This is not gonna stay here, but I'm just gonna get it out of the way for right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is go ahead and clean all this up. Pretty much just clean this whole back where it's just been sitting. Sure, it's just nasty. Probably some dog hair on it and stuff. We'll clean this back up and then we gotta get this whole back plate on, flywheel, all that stuff. Check it out. So here's the back plate right there. And I did, after I painted it, I put those numbers on there because they were on there to begin with. So I was like, I don't know what they mean. I'm sure it's a 347th plate they put on maybe. Who knows? Maybe you guys do. And we'll get that on there. We got to get the pan on there. All these up pipes. Shoot, all this. Well, guys, I'm stuck. So these right here, the two O-rings that go in the very back. So this is the back side of the plate. They go right here, okay? And you can kind of tell where they were right here. Chevrolet's out of them. They don't have them until Monday. So I can't put all these seals. I can't put this on. I had to take the pan back off. I put it on. Then I'm like, well, crap, I forgot. It has bolts right here that come up through it. And I got those right there. So I gotta wait till Monday to be able to put this whole thing back together. So the whole back of it here. Man, I was right there too. I can't believe they don't have any. All right, guys. My brand new O-rings are in from Chevrolet. And now I got the task of getting this back on here. And here's the deal. So there's dowel pins on the bottom here. There's two on the pan. And then there's these two. But I tried dry fitting this thing in. And it's getting, I can get the bottom two started, but it's not dropping down enough to allow these to come into. I'm like, uh-oh. I already had to remove where the oil filter goes and oil cooler. I was like, I hope I don't have to drop the pan down to do it. Then I got to reseal it all and all that stuff. I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to sit here and finagle it until I can get it in there. I might just have to take these dowel pins out and put them on this piece and see if it works from there. I don't know. I'll see if I can get it done. Brand new rear main seal. Everything's torqued. These, the turbo upper bolts, the pan bolts on the inside. Everything's on there. Let's go ahead and tap in the rear main and move on. Just give it a little bit of lube. And then make sure it's all clean in there. All right, guys, this is my Lb7 Up Pipe. That's how you get away from having the chambers that come up with the other one where it go to the EGR cooler. It no longer is there. So Lb7 Up Pipe works for the passenger side. Oh, no. Well, never mind putting that on. Well, guys, I can't put that on until I get that chain off. Brand new flywheel bolts. Go ahead and get these on. There's only one way the flywheel can go on, that little notch. Brand new bolts, about $90 worth of bolts. I don't know what they were. They were like So guys, right here would be the old pipe. See how it has this whole upper piece right here? And that would be mounted there, and then the EGR cooler and everything would be going off of the top piece right there. So that piece no longer exists because it's gone. All right, so this is the existing PVC line that goes in the Duramax, and this is a very common, plus you can do is just do the delete, because I'm not gonna run this anymore right here. So I'm gonna end up cutting, I'm gonna end up cutting this where I've marked it right there with a Sharpie, there and there. And I'm gonna use some rubber tubing, get a T-fitting for right here, and then run a line from there to there. They fit to the T, and the T goes back out there, and it'll end up dumping, you run it down there by the wheel well or somewhere. Here's the T-fitting right here. So this will be blocked off. This is this part that goes on the turbo, and I've got my cap. So this, I'm gonna go get a rubber, cup link right here to fit over this, and then tighten it down, and then this piece will sit here just like this, and it'll be a blocker for this. So there we go. That's what's happening next. All right, so this is my original transfer case out of my Duramax, my white truck, okay? But I needed this for the Humvee because it is a manual shift transfer case, because the Humvee is not going to have electronics to do that, which is awesome. But as you can see, somebody's been in this thing, and this thing did leak a little. It didn't have a crazy leak when it was in my truck, but it did leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust this thing apart. And hopefully, I've never been inside this transfer case. Hopefully that magnet's still inside there that catches all the metal shavings and whatnot. But I'm gonna go to the store here in just a little bit. I gotta get some fluid for it, because GM takes that, whatever it is, they call it the Smurf fluid, I think. But to get this out, first I gotta drain it. I'm gonna pop this loose, drain it. You take this out, there's a snap ring in there. After you unbolt all of these bolts around, pop that out, snap ring as you pull and pry. And right here, there's a notch. That's where you put a flat head, and you just give it a pop, and this whole cone area comes off. So that is the plan, because I got to get this thing painted too, as well as the transmission. But this should be kind of the easier of the two, because I'm just gonna reseal, put a new gasket material in there, and paint it up. This is the pickup wheel screen right here. That thing had gasket material all in it. Yeah, so we're just gonna clean these up, and there's the magnet. So it does have the magnet in there. Let's see how bad it is. Not bad. There's like zero metal shavings in here. I think this thing's definitely been serviced kind of recently, probably right before I got the truck. I didn't service it, but someone has. For sure, because it looks too nice in here. Okay, after a massive pain with getting this chain back on. So to get it on, I did have to remove the snap ring. And here, remove this gear, kind of get it together, and then get it back over the, it was still a pain, because you had to keep this side elevated just a little bit for it to, It would have been easier with 3 hands. But the inside it's all back together. I've got, I had all this apart. So the pump's back on, all that good stuff. Got the hose in, springs in, make sure it's there. And I think we're ready to put the cover on there. Nope, we're not. Good grief. Nope, only goes on one way, come on. Bingo, all right. Okay, now we're ready to put the cover on there. And by the way, man, I really love this paint. It's called Dark Steel, right here. Rust-Oleum, man, that might be my favorite color yet. So, yeah, silicone it up, and I'm using the gray, obviously. That's what GM calls for, so that's what I got. Here's another quick tidbit thing that I'm working on over here. So this is the original fan that comes in there, and I have looked, seems like the end of the internet, and I cannot find the fan that fits on the swap or a part number so I can order it. Because basically this fan is 23 inches. The inside of the housing is 20 inches. Now granted, I don't think it has to sit all the way in there, but however, that fan, when this engine is mounted in here, it will hit this frame. I've known that, I've seen it on some videos. So I know that fan's gonna hit. So I'm gonna take my chances first and just cut this with a Dremel and just go from there. And if later on down the road, if I actually find the fan that fits it, or I can always do an electric fan. So it's not really a big deal. I thought this maybe mess it up the equilibrium of it if I cut it, but I was like, you know what? Either way, it's not getting used, so might as well give it a try. So, time to chop away. All right, guys, so this right here is the PVC bypass. It does away with this. I dumped it back down into the intake, which is outstanding. This is just something you have to do. You're crazy not to do it. This right here is just coolant hose. This is, I think, because this no longer has the EGR, this is gonna go to the heater core. And then I'll get another hose on down the line and run this out and down by the frame of the Humvee. So that is coming together. And we got the fan on. It is definitely small. Look how little it is. So if I do run into a cooling issue, I'm gonna throw 2 electric fans on it and call it a day. Thanks for watching. That's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got a ton of stuff done as usual. That transfer case getting done was really, really awesome. Yeah, happy. Moving on to the transmission, and as soon as that transmission's done, these all 3 made up, and then we drop it in that Humvee, and that's gonna be awesome. Epic, whatever, exclamation point. That's when this thing's gonna start becoming real. You know what I mean? Like all these parts are coming together. But just stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe, guys. See you guys next time.